Hello, my friends. Happy Friday. Welcome to episode 192 of Why Did I Buy This? I started this series, I don't know, a few years ago now, I guess, and it was a way to help crafters find unique ways to use products that they have in their collection. But it's also really great for those of you who are getting started and are wondering what you need to have the most success. My name is Lindsay Mann. I'm from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and I have been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator over 21 years. I love to craft and I love to get to share ideas with you. As you're tuning in, please say hi. Hi, Shauna. Let me know where you're tuning in from. If you're watching the replay, you can let me know that too. Thank you for your patience. I was away last week in Hawaii visiting with friends. I got to present at a crafting conference for my friend Cindy and meet all of her crafters and team members. That was really fun. And I was hanging out with a few of my demonstrator friends from across the US. And then I also got to present for Stampin' Up! At the Backstage Conference, which is for leaders. And so it was a week of presenting, which was very cool. But I'm back now. Yeah, we need all the things. Isn't that true, Shauna? Thanks, Sharon. Yes, so it's good to be back. It's snowing today. It actually looks like a winter wonderland out there. And so I've only been back like 48 hours, but I've already taught a class and I'm back in action. My Christmas card crank was amazing. Really, really well attended. Thanks for all of you who came. And I wanted to let you know that I've added a pop-up class to my calendar. So on November 30th from 1 to 4 p.m. if you're local, you can attend this, and we're going to be doing an over-the-top Christmas card class. So with that means fun folds and some great layers and lots of techniques. You'll make 3 cards and the class is $25 or free with a $30 order. So message me to be able to attend that, and we'll get to do some Christmas crafting together with some like really embellished, beautiful cards. The other thing I wanted to mention is I am running a 12 days of crafting kit. So what that is like an advent calendar. You will get 12 packets in the mail, and each one is a little gift, all designed for crafting. It's all craft supplies. And with them is a QR code for a video for each day, so you can see how to use your supplies in a way that's fun and just kind of adds to your collection. All of the things that we're gifting are tools, and so it's a really, really fun way to be able to add to your craft supplies and get to open a little something every day. If you register for the Advent calendar or for the 12 days of crafting before November 21st, you're also going to get an additional gift with your 12 days. So you'll want to register for that ASAP. Thank you to all those of you who have already registered. It's really fun to get to do this for you. It's been something I've been thinking about doing for years. And so I'm really, really happy to be able to gift you the 12 little gifts of craft supplies. So this is what it looks like. There's a little QR code. You can see that here on my Facebook page. Just go ahead and click on the link and fill out the form, and you'll be able to receive this gift. I will be mailing them by the end of November. Now, the other thing I want to mention is my Why Did I Buy This Maker Club. I have 2 kits left this month. So if you'd like to give it a try for 1 month, you can go ahead and register. The link is also here on my Facebook page, but I'll include it in the comments. And this is just a great way to be able to take this video series and be able to use what you're learning in this and get sort of that next level. So if you would like to have a maker kit sent to you and be able to experience the private video that you'll receive with that maker kit, make sure you let me know in the next day or 2, because our club is next week. Steph says, is there a backup plan for the postal strike? Yes, I'm working on that. Thanks, Steph. And yeah, so the other thing, Steph, would be to register ASAP so that I can get them in the mail ASAP. So the other thing that I wanted to let you know is I have 1 more class in December, and that is a bingo class. We're going to be doing 3 cards and then play some fun games of bingo. There's some prizes involved. It'll be a great time. Okay, I'm going to do the awkward transition so you can see my hands, and we will get started. So let me just move this around. Oh, come on. There we go. My phone didn't want to play today. All right, so let's get started. Now, we had a new kit released just recently, and this kit is called Nature's Painting Kit. It's unique. I have never seen a kit like this before from Stampin' Up, and the kit is $34. And what comes with it is some illustrations for coloring, and a water painter, and then there are 8 watercolor pencils. So let me show you what the illustrations look like. So it comes with this pad, and in it is all of these different illustrations. Some of it has doubles or triples, so you can practice your watercoloring techniques. Now, this kit is not like our normal kits in that it's not designed to create a project. It's designed to watercolor, to practice watercoloring. Now, you can always make your watercoloring into projects, but the idea is that you can play. This is a really great gift for, I would say, any crafters, but specifically for teens who love coloring. It's really affordable at $34, and it's sent through UPS, so you don't have to worry about any postal strikes. And you can just purchase this and have it as a stocking stuffer or give it to a work colleague. Anybody that loves crafting is going to love this. So let me show you how I have used this kit. So as a reminder, a water painter is called that because it's got a chamber inside, and inside the chamber, you can fill it with water. You can fill it with other substances as well, alcohol or bleach. Those are for different techniques. We're not going to talk about those today. But then when you screw it back on, you've got this chamber, and when you squeeze it, water comes through the brush so that you can have the liquid flowing through the brush at all times. Now, the watercolor pencils are really amazing because they give you kind of a twofer. So it is both a watercolor, both a pencil crayon as well as a watercolor paint. I'm just going to grab a piece of paper here. Where did I put my paper? I'll grab this. So let me show you a few ways that you can use this. So the first one that I pulled out of my little notebook of watercolor paintings is this. Now the notepad of illustrations is done on like an ultra thick cardstock. And I really saturated it with water because I was curious to see how well it would hold up. And it's amazing. Like, it might even be like a really, really pressed watercolor paper. I'm not sure if it says, but it works really, really well with water. It's not like our normal basic white cardstock. So here is some ways that you can use it. Now, when you're using watercolor pencils, the nice thing about this is you have a lot of control about where the color goes. So I'm going to take early espresso, and I'm going to start with a very light center. So I'm just going to color over top of this button in the center, and then I'm going to continue to color out from the center and give a very dark border around the outside. So I'm just going to go in little circles around the outside and add that darker pigment to our sunflower here, just like that. So obviously you could color it just as a pencil crayon, but we're going to use that aqua painter to do some watercoloring. So here's what I found to give the best success with watercoloring. You want to start where you've put the lightest pigment first. So we're going to go ahead and color that in, see how it's light, and then we're going to move out from that light center towards the dark. And then that's going to allow the darker pigment to stay where we want it saturated for our little sunflower button. So see, I'm adding quite a bit of water, but it's not reacting poorly with the paper, which is great. So here you can see is what that looks like. So I'm just gonna go ahead and quickly dry that. One of the keys to successful watercoloring is to be able to have drying time in between your layers. So the next thing I'm going to do is bring in my pumpkin pie, and we're going to work out from the edges of our sunflower, and we're gonna add pumpkin pie. I'm gonna go all the way around, and you don't have to be super careful with this style of coloring because our watercoloring is going to spread this out. And then I have Daffodil Delight, and we're going to pull from the pumpkin pie to the edges of our sunflower, just like so. How many of you have played with this kit already? It's just hot off the presses. It just came out, but I really think it's great just in time for Christmas, just like that. So once again, we're going to start, I'm just going to use my paper here to make sure my brush is clean. We're going to start from the lightest side, and we're going to work into the dark. So keep working our way into the darkest part of the sunflower. And we're going to go all the way around. I'm not going to color this whole image, just I'm going to show you some of the tips here. So keep working down towards that darker pigment. And it just gives you a lot more control to give shading. So all the way around. So I'll just kind of do half of it just for the sake of time. I love watercoloring. I think it's really fun. It's very therapeutic. So if you're somebody who likes to color, it's fun to sit down and do this. Okay, so just like that. So you can see the difference between what I've painted and what's still colored. And same thing with the green. I'm going to bring in Garden Green, and I'm just going to go darker here at the bottom, just like that. And then I'm going to move lighter at the top. So once again, make sure my brush is clean. I'm going to start at the light area, and then I'm going to bring it down to where the darkest pigment is, like that. So I'm just going to show you on the side of the paper here what I mean. So if I have dark to light, I'm going to do two, dark to light. Okay. So if I go start at the light end and I work up to the dark, do you see how we get that gradient? Okay, watch what happens when I start at the dark. It just doesn't flow as nicely. So I think I would recommend always starting light to dark, light to dark. So same with the background here. We're going to bring in some Bermuda Bay. No, Coastal Cabana. I don't even think we have Bermuda Bay anymore, do we? It's funny, the colors kind of stick in your head after time. Every once in a while, things like only orange will come out. And I'm like, wait, what? No, we haven't had that in about 10 years or more maybe. Okay, so again, you can see we've got the light to dark. I'm going to start with a clean brush, and then we're going to start here where I put the lightest pigment and then work our way down into the saturated. And it just gives us a lot of texture and dimension like that. This brush is nice too because it's got a really fine tip, so you can get into these small areas really easily. Okay, so the other thing that's nice with pencil crayons as a watercolor tool is once you've got it dry, and let's quickly do that. You can always go back in with your watercolor pencil and do some more coloring. So I'm just going to add more dark green here. And I'm going to kind of bring it up through the veins, just like that. And you don't even need to watercolor it. You could leave it like that if you wanted to just get that texture. Hello, Joy. Okay, I'm gonna skip ahead. Before I do that, real quick, Wink of Stella. Gotta love me some Wink of Stella. It always looks beautiful to just finish off a project with that. So we're gonna go over the center here. And then that's gonna dry and add that little fine platinum shimmer like that. Okay, so here I'm gonna skip ahead and show you the finished card. So you can see there's my platinum shimmer. I colored all 3 sunflowers and then I just fussy cut out around the frame. I added some of the vellum behind, layered it onto some crumb cake and Daffodil Delight, and then added some of the linen thread and some embellishments here in the corner. Cute, right? Yeah. So like I said, the kit is designed to teach you watercoloring, and then if you like, you can use your supplies to be able to make them into cards. So let me show you another technique. This time, I'm bringing out the peony one, and this is a really full picture. So what I'm gonna do is bring in a 2-inch circle punch, and I'm going to layer it just like that. So this I've punched out from here. So we're gonna do something called a spotlighting technique. So this spotlighting technique, you can see here's where that image came from, but we're only going to be coloring this spot. So there's beautiful Fleur de Flamingo. You guys know I love Fleur de Flamingo. It's a great color. And so I'm going to actually create a palette off of the page this time. So this is another way that you can use your watercolor pencils. So we're gonna scribble this onto our scrap paper and then use our aqua painter. Make sure I get the green off of it. Use my aqua painter to pick up the paint. And I'm going to, from the bottom, use the lines that the artist has included to create that shadow. So the image already shows us where the darker places would be for that flower. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that there. And then over here, we're gonna add in the dark, sort of the saturated pink, right? Because the petals are closed up, just like that. And then we can keep coloring over onto the larger flowers, like that. And then once you run out of paint, just scribble some more. And then you can create another puddle, just like that. It's really fun to be able to make it into paint like this. It just gives you a completely different look than coloring right onto it. This one here is more closed up, so we're gonna keep it really saturated, like that. And then once you let it dry, because again, the secret to watercoloring is to make sure that your paint has dried in between. Then you can add some more. So I'm just gonna go over top of some of this, just like that. And watercoloring looks really nice if you leave some white spaces. So it just kind of, it doesn't need to be completely colored to be successful. Now I'm gonna bring in my garden green and create a little palette for that. So again, scribble out my paintbrush and then create a puddle. And we're gonna go along here. Because I know this is a leaf. Sometimes you have to kind of put it back in to see where things go. It's like, oh, okay, that's the leaf. Just like that. Okay, beautiful. And if you'd like, you can always go back in with your watercolor pencil and add more shading, right? I love the versatility of watercolor pencils. It really does a lot of the hard work for us. How many of you are fans of watercolor pencils? Have you played with them before? Just like that. Okay, over here too. Just like that. Ooh, so pretty. Okay, just like that. Okay, so here now is where this is going to come into play. So we're gonna line up those up and you're gonna pop it up. Now what I wanted to show you was this. So the pages themselves are actually cut at 4.5 by 6. And if you look, we sell something called the Assorted Memory and More cards and envelopes. So the nice thing about this is the larger size is intended for a card front that's 4 by 6 because our Memory and More cards are that big. So you can cut off a 1/4 inch from each side of this, and then it's going to be able to mount onto your Memories and More card. So I'm just going to quickly do that. So we're going to cut at 4 1/4 and then 4. So now we have that. So I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal. Joy loves watercolor pencils. Yeah, they're great, aren't they? So this is gonna just size right onto our Memories and More note card. So now I'm gonna bring in some Stampin' Dimensionals and I'm gonna add a few to the back. And here we go. So this is going to set onto here. We just have to make sure we've got it lined up. Beautiful. Oh, I see I missed some green. See, this is helpful. When you line it up, you can see, okay, there's some more leaf that needs to be colored. Okay, so then we get that look. So I'll skip ahead to the end and show you the finished card. I just added a greeting, let's celebrate, and some of the glimmer paper, as well as some embellishments. And then there you've got it. So this greeting comes from the Simply Said stamp set, which is a good all-around stamp set. Yeah, Jennifer, just start playing with them. I found that once I started practicing with them, it really made me fall in love with them more. Isn't that beautiful? I think it's so pretty. So that is our second card. So let me move on now to card number 3. So from the notebook, I cut out, I think it was from here. No, maybe this way. I can't remember. This way. There we go. I just cut off a 1-inch strip of paper. And so we're just going to do another style of spot lighting technique. So I'm going to bring in this time yellow, orange, green, and my blue. So up here, we're going to color in our leaf, but I wanted that feeling of, you know, old leaves that have fallen to the ground. So we're gonna go again, keep it saturated and then move to a lighter style. I'm gonna also color some yellow on my acorns. My next one, I'm going to do orange. I'm gonna do darker and then move to light. Okay, and then we've got green down here. Now, before I watercolor it, I'm going to bring in my early espresso and I'm going to add in just a little bit of shading with the early espresso onto the leaf. This just makes it feel a little bit more realistic. So we're combining colors, which is another thing you can do. Okay, so we're gonna do the tops of the acorns and then add in some shading like that, and same with our orange. So the fun thing I always think is looking at it when you've kind of scribble colored and you think, oh, it doesn't look very good. But then when you bring in your aqua painter or your water painter, you really get some fun techniques. So again, we're gonna start on the light side and we're gonna move into where we've created this multicolor leaf. Okay, see how the brown and the yellow work together to create that feeling of like the old leaves. just like that. So there you can see when we've actually watercolored. So I'm going to clean my brush again. Here we've got our orange. We're going to start light and then move into our darker pigment. That's definitely one of the best tips I got with watercoloring, is to start light and move into that pigment. Just gives you a little more control over the shading. Clean my brush, and then we're going to go into the green and down into the darker pigment. Okay, so with our acorns, same thing. We're going to do that yellow and the brown first, and then we're going to go into the early espresso. Just like that. Okay, so there you can see as it starts to dry, we've got that color. And then Coastal Cabana, again, I wanted to just create a more realistic looking background, so we're gonna add that in to the background. I won't do the whole thing, and we're just gonna go over top of it with the Aqua Painter water brush, you know what I mean. Again, old names coming in until you're all done. Okay, to assemble this card, I brought in my Falling Leaves hybrid embossing folder, and I used the Coastal Cabana that I did in the background to be able to do an embossed textured background. And then we're going to bring in our leaf, and let me show you what the finished card looks like. So again, I brought in some glimmer paper. I like the juxtaposition of the shiny, sparkly, elegant with the rustic looking coloring, and then made it into a thank you card. Because I guess my American friends, you've got some Thanksgiving celebrations coming up. We already had ours in October, but yeah, you might be in the thank you making card business at the moment. So there's our rustic looking coloring. Here we've got some spotlight coloring, and here we have, you can see the light to dark tones. And if you're thinking to yourself, Lindsay, why don't I have this product? You can head to my online store and shop away. Like I said, this kit is $34. It comes with all of the coloring supplies you're going to need. Makes a great Christmas gift. Don't forget, you'll want to sign up for the 12 days of crafting. Make sure you sign up sooner than later. This is a treat yourself situation where you're going to get 12 days of craft supplies all beautifully wrapped up for you to open in an advent calendar style with coordinating videos. It's $125 plus shipping. Shipping here in Canada is about $18.89 if I'm using Canada Post. So you'll want to sign up before November 21st so you can receive the bonus gift and get to treat yourself to some craft supplies. My friends, have an amazing weekend. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sharing this video. It's always great to be able to craft along with you. Bye for now.